Hello, friends. I'm DJ Lance Rock, and I have to say, Rock and Roll Grad School is awesome!
One, two, three, four. This is Rock and Roll Grad School with your hosts, Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poland.
Hello, kiddies. We're going to have a real good time together. Or should we just say, hey ho, let's go?
Well, yeah, but I feel like then every time we do that, then I think someone's calling me.
I know. Well, that's a you thing, not a me thing.
I know.
Today we are talking with Philadelphia's own Ramoms, a Ramones tribute cover band with songs solely dedicated to parenting.
Yes, but also fun for non-parents.
Definitely. I mean, there is Gritty as a Punk, dedicated to one of the greatest mascots of all time.
But I am not a parent, and I find them hilarious. And
No,
also
definitely.
fun.
And
They're
their
for those
version,
who like to rock.
they salute you,
Right,
and we salute them.
right.
So that is fun. But before we get to that,
Only me, it's not fun.
what, me saying it's fun makes it not fun?
No, you were like, so.
Yeah, whatever. It's like a thing. It's cool.
Okay, they're awesome. And she's our new best friend.
Yes.
And they're super cool. And Weird Al,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're listening and a friend of the show.
And don't forget Larry Mullen.
Well,
Jr.
Larry Mullen Jr., totally super fan of all of our shows. But there's a whole homework assignment in there for Weird Al. So he's got to listen.
Yeah, this is true.
There's a whole destination. There's a lot. But
yes,
no, the Ramoms kick ass.
Yes.
And whether you're a mom, not a mom, whether you like the Ramones, whether you like Weird Al, whether you like to rock, whether you are, some of their songs are kid friendly. They're just fun and they're cool.
Yes. I wholeheartedly agree with all of that.
If you're a Ramone, you will like them.
Yes. Are you listening, Richie?
Yes.
Marky, Tommy, CJ? Is that who's left?
What happened to Luke? Perhaps he went to see Santa today.
Maybe.
Opie.
The other thing I wanted to discuss was there's 2 new music documentaries. I have seen one, you have seen the other. So this is perfect. We're going to be talking about 2 separate films.
I'm so happy.
Would you say?
Maybe this is why you are mopey and I'm happy.
Perhaps. So you just watched the We Are the World documentary.
Yes.
I guess you could say made a brighter day for you.
It was so good.
Judging by this conversation.
Yes, I loved it so much.
It was good? You enjoyed it?
I loved it. And I don't know if I loved it. I think it's just good. I think it's I think it's what the world needs now. I think first of all, it just takes you back. I think if you're of our era, just it transports you to then, like the style, the voices, the people, the message, first of all, forgot that Harry Belafonte is the reason it happened. As everyone,
I grew up with the We Are the World poster where they had everybody ID.
I did too. I had both the Band-Aid one and
wow. Thank God it's them instead of you.
I mean, right. But as we've all learned in recent years through things like American Idol, through things like the Shania Twain documentary, you know, Lionel Richie's everybody's best friend. Comes through very clear in this, but he's got some great Michael Jackson stories. There are some really awesome stories throughout from various people. Our future best friend, Huey Lewis, is heavily featured in it. There's some really good stories I didn't know about, like how it all came together. It just makes you happy, and some fun little dirty tales you didn't know.
Do they talk about Prince?
They talk about Prince.
Okay.
Sheila E. talks about Prince.
And then my only other question, I've seen a resurgence in the GIF of confused looking Bob Dylan
Oh
during
my
the
God,
performance?
it's just hardcore. There's a lot of Bob Dylan,
Looking confused.
a lot. I mean,
Perfect. Love it.
there's a lot of footage of that. Like, I just think there wasn't a lot of revolution. There were a few things I didn't know.
Hmm.
There's something about when you bring it all together in one 90-minute section, it feels new.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And it just feels better.
Hmm.
And to hear Huey Lewis talk about how he got his solo is really great.
Well, this
Watch
is
them,
it.
right? And to
If you
watch
want to watch a documentary about Huey Lewis singing the solo in We Are the World, this is
them,
it.
right, and watching them like put together the harmonies and watching Cindy go like, was that too much? Like, it's just great. And like the whole, like the timing and like when Lionel goes home that night and talking to I don't know, it's just, and like Lionel going to Michael Jackson's house. Like, I didn't know those stories. Did you know those
I
stories?
don't think I do. So I will watch
And
this.
then
I
when they
really
sing
want
to
to.
Harry Belafonte,
I don't
that
know this one.
okay, that
No.
I'm not telling you any of that because that's like the best part. And Al Jarreau, do you know that part?
No.
Okay, so you have to watch it because those are all the
Okay.
best
No,
parts.
listen, Harry Belafonte, great human being. I will
Well,
watch
and
him
this
do
part is
anything.
just so good. It's just so
I
good, and it just made me really happy.
Excellent. And then the film I watched was the Paramount Plus documentary June.
I
Uh,
also watched that, so I
Oh,
actually
you did?
did.
Oh,
You gave me a
oh,
homework assignment. I watched that first yesterday.
all right. Well, what did you think?
I thought it was good. Um,
I felt like he did such a good job of sort of there's always the thing about the woman in a sort of power couple like that. And the obvious comparison is sort of the Fred and Ginger. She did everything the same backwards in high heels.
yeah,
Um, but I think it did a really good job of sort of showing what June did
I
throughout the decades.
I agree, and I always loved. See, I read the book that John wrote about them,
Mhm. Yes.
and
This is the son, right?
yes, which is very, very good, and which focused really heavily on that and talked a lot about her babies, her,
Hmm.
which I always really liked all those stories, but it also talked pretty heavily about kind of her codependency and like her struggles, which always makes me sad. And there's a sadness in that book, and I felt like I got a little hung up on that sadness because you can still see that sadness in John when he talks,
Hmm.
and it
That's interesting.
made me a little sad.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you certainly see it in the film. They do a very good job of acknowledging, like, hey, she did not always get the fair shake she deserved in that
No,
relationship.
and their relationship was tough.
Right. And the fact too, I think that's the nice thing about it is that it acknowledges like this was not all sunshine and roses.
No, like great love is not easy, just
Right.
that it wasn't still like a great love, it was just really tough.
Right. And which makes it all the more f- the feeling of it's attainable and
And do you
something
want
worth emulating.
it?
What do you
Right.
say?
And do you really want it?
Well, yes, but like it's worth trying to emulate it and the whole like despite all their problems,
Right.
John burning down a
You know,
forest, but just some of the early stuff with her and the Carter family and sort of the finding her voice in a way that was not her own
right.
and creating a character and
Yeah,
probably not even knowing that's what she was doing.
right.
But then you see later on when her and Johnny get together and she's touring with him and opening, like it's such a great, like it's amazing to see that she found that thing. And then
Yeah.
just that footage of her, because a lot of the film was shot when they were recording what ended up being her second to last album, the last one released during her lifetime. And it's like, it's so cool to see all these like country music greats sitting around her. Everyone's mic'd up
I
and
know.
she's just telling stories before every single song.
So cute.
It's amazing. And
I
because,
love her. Like, she just has like there's something about her. Like, she just has it. Like, you can tell why everyone just loved her.
yeah. So if you haven't, that's your homework now. You can watch June, and we can watch We Are the World together. What's it called? Is it the
We
Day
Are-
the World?
I think it is just We Are the World, isn't
All
it?
right, great.
Gritty is a punk, Crosby is a run. They all went down to Philly to the ice to skate. Cry, Sydney, cry. Cry, Sydney, cry. Call all sides, oh yeah. Call all sides, oh yeah. Call all sides.
To begin,
Yes.
where did the Ramoms come from? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Is Ramoms, yes.
All right.
I was drinking a lot with my husband when I was sitting at the table. I
Okay.
know.
Like all
one night,
good stories.
Happens.
Yeah.
nothing's without that. And I don't know, I was just thinking of band names and I was like, I wonder if anyone's ever done an all-female group with the Ramoms. And I looked it up and they didn't. So then I just bought the name. Like I bought the domain of it, and I was like, well, maybe someday. I think it's hilarious. And that's where it started.
And so how long after buying the URL, like all great bands, you bought the domain name and then you formed a band around the name, which is perfect, no notes. How long before you found other moms to, hit Rockaway Beach with you?
Right.
It wasn't very long. I have a lot of friends who have been in bands, and one of my best friends at the time, I just said, hey, what do you think of this? And she started laughing. She's like, I'll do it. And I asked a bunch of other friends, and everyone's like, we don't have a lot of time because we're moms, but what the heck, let's try it. And I guess about a month.
That's very speedy.
I know, because we were like, we wanted to do something because we're, something fun to do because, go out and hang out with your buds once
Yeah,
a week. Start practicing.
And so how long did it take you to get to a level where you're like, we need to share this with people. People need to hear this.
Well, we started an Instagram account and we are like, we'll just play covers. And then we were like, well, let's do Weird Al Yankovic versions of songs. So we decided to write songs for kids. Since we were a mom's band, we're like, let's play for children. So we started writing songs like that, and we started an Instagram account, and it went viral. Like Punk Rock News picked it up and posted about it, and then CJ Ramone reposted it, and then Legs McNeil, who wrote "Please Kill Me,"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and then Pirates Press Records saw it, and there was a band called the Dad Brains. And they were like, we want to do a split with you. So now we have a record deal. And this is like 3 months in, and we're like, I guess we should learn more than 5 songs.
So you went about it.
Best thing ever.
Yeah, completely backwards.
Yet completely perfectly just forwards was meant to be.
This would have been amazing if I was not in my late 40s.
No, it's even better because you're in your late 40s.
Like I'm in my 50s now as we go, but I'm like, this would have been amazing because then we were like, people wanted to like go on tour with us and all the stuff, but it was just so exciting. We were like, we've all been in bands before, and we're like, this is how we made it, like doing parodies of songs. It was just the coolest thing, and we were like, we couldn't believe this was happening. Like we were all, and people were making fun of us as well. People were excited, but people were like, oh, like how bad is this going to be? Some of it's bad, but some of it's really fun.
But so what? Like even the bad stuff is still fun.
Oh, the bad stuff is the most fun because
Right.
when
Yeah.
we fight like the Ramones, and then we just make a joke out of it.
Right.
We only practice as much as we can, where we all have responsibilities. So when we have a show, we try to practice as much as possible before, but sometimes, a song messes up and we're like, the Ramones would have gotten in a fist fight. We'll just play it off.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the song like when you first started? What was the one where you're like, we have to start here?
I think we started with Beat on the Brat because it was,
Of course. That's where I would have started.
thank you.
Yes, this is exactly where we start.
We learned that back and forth, and we're like, we are good. Because none of us had played in a long time either. Like I had our original bass player, like went to college to play bass, and she hadn't played her bass, like she's like trained, and she hadn't played her bass in probably 10 years. And she's like, oh, like looking up numbers and like notes and stuff. And it came together, but it took a while because, you know, we don't have time to practice at home as much because we're running kids back and forth. But once we got that one song down, we felt really good about ourselves.
Now, I was looking online, when I saw you had a song, one of your parody songs was called The PTA Took My Mommy Away, which brilliant, no notes. What's some of the other songs that perhaps aren't on some of the 7 inches?
We have a whole nother bunch of songs that we recorded that we still haven't put out yet because COVID hit and we just didn't have anything to support it. So hopefully we'll get those out soon. But we did, you know, the song Havana Affair.
Mm-hmm.
We did Banana Affair, and it was like ice cream float and a ride from my Nana. I used to take ice cream with a split of banana, which we were like, that's a good one. We're like, we really want that one to come out. And we have I Want to Be Play Dated instead. I Want to Be.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one for sure. That's more my speed. I love it.
We just have to get it together.
You will.
But I feel like the motivation to keep this going has got to be great. And this encouragement and this sort of like, yeah, go out and have fun with this.
We do have a lot of fun with it. And we didn't play for years because of COVID. And I have 3 teenage boys. Well, one's 11, one's 14, one's 16. But at the time of COVID, they needed me much more. So we didn't even start back up until recently. My friend was having a birthday in Canada. And she's like, can you please play my show? She was having like 300 people at this show in Canada. We're like, what a good reason to get back together. So we got back together, and now like people are wanting us to play again, and it's so nice because we realized how much we missed it.
Yeah, because January last month, this end of this month, you played your first show in a while. It was in Philly.
It was sold out. We played with this lovely band called All Violet, and they were a whole cover band, and it was a beautiful venue, and it was sold out, and it was just exhilarating. Like we're all like, we want to do this again. We want to do more of it, and we want to people were having fun. We were having fun. It just feels good when you get off, and it takes a couple days to get that high down, and you're just walking on air, and you're nicer to your family and your friends. Nothing bothers you for days.
Everybody wins.
I'm going to assume all the shows are all ages.
Not necessarily. The ones we played last not. We will be playing, I don't know when this comes out, in like 2 weeks, but it'll be an all ages show. And but our plan, I guess, going forward is more children's shows specifically. Like we want to do more of those, like plan more children's shows with like, fire eaters and like jugglers and like a whole extravaganza for kids, maybe a kid ska band and someone painting faces and making it about the kids too.
My nephew would go crazy.
Well, I feel like I keep seeing, I am outside of the Philly area in Bucks County. So I keep seeing Ardmore and other places are doing a Grateful Dead for kids and all this. And great. God bless you. Go do that Grateful Dead spin dance. Have a great time. But like, I love the fact that there is another side of this that's like, you can also take your kids to just wear little leather jackets and just
100%. And people are growing up now and listening to like more music like that too. Before, when the Ramones were a little more of like a niche, not everyone knew who they were. People know who the Ramones are. Everyone has a Ramones type of shirt or something. Right. So people do know the Ramones, and they know the hits. And kids know that stuff now too because of their parents. And we did play that Rock and Roll Playhouse at Ardmore, and it was packed. And we had like the whole like what is that, the parachute going up while we're singing.
That's awesome.
Kids are singing with us, and parents were singing with us, and my kids were there, and it was just the most fun playing for the kids too. And being an all-female band, we love seeing like little girls come up and they just want to meet you. They just want to meet you. Like, I feel like a superhero.
Oh yeah. I would have been all in. Like my nieces would be all in too, but my little nephew is definitely the one that's going to be the rock star in the group.
He's a punk rocker.
He's the punker for sure.
Nephew is a punk rocker. Yes.
Totally. For sure.
So the other thing I noticed, you do have a Gritty as a punk, as another
Yeah.
7-inch.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to meet him?
And I'm
Okay.
really hoping. We wrote that song about Gritty, and we wrote it about, hockey. We love hockey. We like to go to games together as a band. We were really hoping that the Flyers would recognize it, Flyers, so that
Yeah.
we would love to meet Gritty, and we would love to, do something with the Flyers and have female Flyers fans come out more, because there are a lot of us. Like, we love hockey.
Same with punk
So
rock.
we're hoping that we would love a little Gritty meet and greet.
I feel like if you can make a CJ Ramon, if you can make a Ramon happen, you got to be able to make Gritty happen.
Yeah.
It was shocking when CJ Ramon reposted that. I was calling everyone I knew. And then Rodney Binghamheimer, do you know who that is?
Yeah.
He played us on Rodney on the Rocks. I felt like a teenager. It really is. It was exhausting, but in the best way possible.
And this is so, I'm assuming the other moms have a similar just excitement and joy with this, and this sort of like, it came out of nowhere in so many ways.
Absolutely came out of nowhere. We were all, like I said, we were all in bands when we were younger. We were all been in bands. And we have had a couple bass players, but they were all in bands. It's just, we're busy. So sometimes we're the bass player, but with Spinal Tap. We get rid of our bass players every once in a while. But it's exciting. Our newest bass players she had her first show right before COVID, and that was her only show. And then now she's playing with us again, and she's like, this is just so exciting, because none of us had any notoriety in any of our stuff. Like, we played in bands, we played bars, we paid for like a beer and went home broke. But this is, we all get how lucky we are, because there's a million people who would love to be in our shoes.
That's awesome.
And it's so great that it happened this way too, in the fact that you are a few years outside of the average age of musicians performing. Yeah. And so the appreciation of like, this is amazing. This is awesome. Like you can have the uncynical enjoyment of it that perhaps as a younger person, you wouldn't have had. You would have looked at it and been like, well, we got to get a van and this is going to be a whole thing, and just hate everybody.
I don't know if I would have appreciated it as much. Like, we had a friend of ours who went to the punk rock museum,
Mm-hmm.
And our picture's in there. And we were like, and they sent a picture of us, and they're like, you're in the punk rock museum. And I'm like, some people are like, oh, punk rock museum. But I'm like, there's a million bands out there, a million. I've been in them all, we've all been in them.
Right.
And I mean, we don't have like a case of us, but like, our picture is next to Iggy Pop and the Bad Brains, like literally next to it. I'm like, I cannot believe our picture made it in there. Like, who put that there?
But
it's just so rad.
Not to drop names, when we interviewed Glenn Matlock, we asked, are you in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Are you not? And he, in one of our favorite episodes of Show and Tell, showed us his trophy that he got. And we said, that seems like a not very punk rock thing. And he said, listen, everybody wants a medal. And I think same thing with having a punk rock museum, being in it. Listen, who doesn't want that acknowledgement, that medal?
It's okay to win.
Yeah.
We didn't expect it. I never thought we'd be in it. I never thought that someone would be like, we just saw your face. And like, I got to tell my parents, I'm in a museum.
I mean,
yeah,
right.
Your daughter made it.
That's pretty sweet.
It's pretty rad. We're pretty stoked on that.
Wait, have you been there to see it?
You didn't know you wanted until it came.
Right. Have you been there to see it yourself?
And it just opened in last January, and we have not, but we're hoping to get out there and take a picture of ourselves in front.
You have to. You have to do that.
Maybe we'll have to plan some shows out there.
Yes, that is a must.
Yeah, that we'll work on during spring break, of course.
Right, of course, that makes perfect sense. Yes.
Given the fact that you are the Ramoms, and the Ramones were known for adopting the same name, Are you Jody Ramom, or do you have
I
another?
am Jody
I love
Ramon.
it. That's
Okay.
I mean,
perfect.
could that have been any more perfect?
I
It's-
mean,
It's pretty good.
yeah,
It was kind of meant to be.
it
Yeah.
was fate. It was definitely fate.
And
I'll go by that as long as I can. Yeah.
and you mentioned
Eternally.
yeah, you mentioned you keep going through bass players. Did Dee Dee Ramom go off to a hip hop career, or did she just?
Well, that's our next. I think we'll do a little some sort of salt and pepper cover band when I get my rap career going. Yes.
You need like a Spinda Ramam.
Oh,
Yes,
that's good.
Ramamarella.
Ooh,
Oh.
Ramamarella. That's easy. That's easier
That's
to
why
say.
I get paid the big bucks.
Yes,
Yes.
that's way easier to say.
And this is also amazing. And I know you're playing in February, the one weekend I'm out of town. So I'm keeping an eye because I want to go see this in person. This
Yes,
sounds
please. We would
amazing.
love to have you.
With or without the parachute. I want to see this in person.
Oh, please.
I will not. I physically will wear one that day, but I won't bring it out for everyone.
Bless you.
Ooh,
Thank you.
Yeah, just in case I fall.
So since you're sort of this is you're coming back out. This is your second your quinceanera, your debutante. Do you have any other big plans? Are you thinking about touring or doing a series of shows? Are you doing a record? What's up next?
We do want to get the rest of the songs out that we had recorded, and that's the plan. Slowly but surely, we've been working on that. Just right now, we've been working on trying to get tighter again because we haven't played in so long. But the plan is to start playing a little more and start maybe not playing Philly like all the time like we were, but doing like short weekends, like at least once a month somewhere, like, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show, because that's something we can do. Get the kids to school, and then by the time they're home on the bus, I'm out on the road, and we can all do that.
You two and all these people make a big deal how hard it is being out on the road. They don't have people to drop off at the bus stop.
They never had to make sure your kid's homework was due the night before. You had to
That's
build
true.
some sort of castle for some sort of class and bring it to school, and then you got to go touring. So yeah.
Yeah, Bono never had to like cut crusts off anything.
No. Seriously, all you do is put his sunglasses on and send us a song we didn't want.
Yeah.
But we knew we needed. I'm sorry, Bob.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. I the whole thing is just wonderful and beautiful, and so much of it is the celebration of ridiculousness, and it's just
Which we love.
we can't get enough of.
Yes.
We see that's what we love to hear, that people think it's fun, and people like the joke about it. Like some people when they see us, they just want to hear Ramones songs, but we won't do that. We're gonna play the parodies, and we're gonna, because we think they're fun and we think they're funny, and people when they see us, they have a good time because we joke on stage and we're all best friends, so you can see it. Like it's. When we get together, it's like when we practice for not just an hour. We practice for like the day, so we can spend the day together and like get to hang out, because we don't get to do that often.
That's awesome.
So it shows, I think, when we play.
Oh, for sure. It would totally translate.
Yeah, and that's something the actual Ramones could never say about their
I
band.
know. It's like the one thing that was missing.
see
I've
this.
actually seen the Ramones. I'm
Mhm.
old enough to have seen them.
Oh,
And I saw them at City Gardens. I think I saw them twice there, maybe. And I wish I could find that ticket stub, but there was a lot of fighting. It's still, what was that, 1990, 88, 90, I saw them. I'm like, they've been around a long time and you're still, come on, guys.
Still can't work out.
I
the
know.
But
personalities.
it's part of their charm.
it is. Like you want them to be fighting, but then you
If they
also
weren't,
want
I
them to
think
be having a
something was
really good time
wrong.
too. Right. It's like you want both.
Yeah.
I want all of it. I'm a Libra.
I want to know
them
they're a
both.
band, but I want to know there's problems there. So I feel
Yes.
better about myself.
I need it both. I need it all. I need everything.
Well,
That's what made them. You
Right.
you didn't know we were going to see in a
Exactly.
show.
Exactly. And that's
But
what made
I
it
really
great.
think I wish Phil Spector was still around.
I
mean,
know,
Well,
right?
dude,
I'm kind of. I
hush your
know.
mouth.
Do I wish Phil Spector was still around?
That's the problem. I'm
Yeah.
very
I
conflicted.
wish his hair was still around.
There we go.
Oh,
Perfect.
I definitely wish his hair was still around.
That's
Do
a good
you
Halloween
think-
costume.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
my
God.
Excellent one.
Do you think,
Yeah.
given your experience in bands, given your experience with the Ramoms, given your experience with seeing the Ramones and knowing their body of work, do you think Joey and Johnny just needed like a timeout?
No, because
Okay.
I get it. We only go away for like a day or two and we're like, I need a break. I need a break. I need 5 minutes to myself.
Right.
So I understand it's a relationship. And no, I get it. If you get it at home and you're like, we're going out. And then you're like, I haven't been alone for like 2 days.
Right.
So I understand the fighting. If you're on tour for like a month, I can't imagine liking someone
Yeah.
enough
No.
for even a timeout to help. But a timeout sounds good.
Right. And
Yeah.
so the other thing is the Ramones, they have a bunch of songs that perhaps are problematic when they're performing them for a younger audience. And you
Yes.
have taken some of that, obviously, the PTA instead of the KKK or Taking Your Baby Away. You still do Beat on the Brat, which is an interesting decision. What about 53rd and 3rd and Now I Want to Sniff Some Glue? Are those
We
on a
have
set list?
recorded 53rd and 3rd.
Wow.
And we recorded as going into 3rd grade.
that.
It's all about spin.
And
Oh my
about
God.
having to make friends. And it's like going into 3rd, trying to find my seat. Going into 3rd, wonder who I'm going to meet. Going into 3rd, got some brand new kicks. Going into 3rd, it kind of makes me feel sick.
And so much of that could relate to what 53rd and 3rd is about.
Right. It's all
Those are the big-
Without
interpretation.
prostitution.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all interpretation.
Said she had meetings all day. Said she was going to the PTA. But when she got there,
You can get all of your Ramoms music from Pirates Press Records. They are at piratespressrecords.com. And for more information about tour dates and t-shirts and so much more, check out the Ramoms website, ramomsband.com. And you can also find them on Instagram and Facebook, where they are at Ramoms Band.
Rock and Roll Grad School is produced by the Professional Production Company. Please be sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, because your impassioned review is just as honest as us standing backstage waiting to come back on for the encore. For more information, you can check out our website, rockandrollgradschool.com. And like everyone else, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Today's show was recorded and produced by Heidi Hegquist and myself from our world headquarters located on the 2nd floor of the professional office building, centrally located downtown. Our reluctant executive producers are John Sauvé and Sandy Stone. Our willing executive producers are Rachel Allen and Randy Jeanette. Our intern is Zach Jackson. This one's for Philippe. Thanks for joining us. Good night, drive safe, and may all your favorite bands stay together.
phone